Hey everyone, this is Heidi with another crochet tutorial for you. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to add some crochet to the edge of a piece of fabric. Crocheting an edge onto a piece of fabric is a really great way to add an elegant handmade touch to something. Even if you made the blanket or piece of fabric in question, finishing it with a little bit of extra flourish from crochet just makes it something really nice and special about how it's finished. So let me give you some tips on my favorite way to add crochet to a piece of fabric. For demonstration's sake, I have just a piece of tan felt here, and I'm sewing with this green yarn something called the blanket stitch to the edge of my fabric, and then I have crocheted onto the blanket stitch. So first things first, how to work the blanket stitch. So I've got a tapestry needle that's just sharp enough to punch through my fabric here, but if you don't have a tapestry needle that can puncture through your fabric on its own, you might want to consider using a punching tool to first place holes in your fabric as you work. Just a quick little tip there. So first, we're going to, with our threaded needle, look at the edge of our fabric right here. And so working from back to front and trying to place our next stitch approximately as far apart from our first stitch as we did all the way down the other side, we're going to pierce the fabric from back to front and draw our sewing tail through that hole we made, like so. And you'll notice I am catching this loop of yarn around my left pointer finger right here. So what we're going to do is bring our needle through that loop we've caught on our finger and draw to tighten. And that right there, easy peasy, is a blanket stitch. So let me show you one more time. Working from the back to the front, approximately as far apart from our last stitch as the stitch before it, we'll draw our yarn through our fabric and catch the big loop around our left pointer finger as we go. Before we tighten that loop, we'll catch it with our needle and working yarn once again, and we're good to keep going. I'm going to sew a couple of these just so you can see it a couple more times so you can really get the hang of it. So back to front, approximately as far away from the first stitch and the second stitch as the second to the third, as the third to the fourth. We've drawn our yarn through and we're catching that loop with our left pointer finger. Then we bring the needle through that loop we've caught on our finger to tighten it. And one more time, back to front, draw our working tail through, catch the loop with our pointer finger, and catch the loop with our working yarn one more time. So when you've worked all the way around, you'll secure with a knot to finish that blanket stitch. For now, I'm just gonna store my needle over here in my fabric and pull it out so I can show you what's going on with the crochet part of this equation. So I've got this yarn here and my crochet hook, and I'm just gonna chain a couple times to get around the corner. And then to work a really basic stitch in these blanket stitch edgings, I'm going to just single crochet twice into that blanket stitch edging as if it were a loop that I was crocheting into in a regular crochet piece. So I'll just crochet a couple times. And then I'm going to chain one just to get over the leg of the blanket stitch and work a couple more single crochets into the blanket stitch itself. And you can already see the pattern we're going for and how easily this forms a nice, simple edging on our piece of fabric. Some of my favorite places to add crochet edgings to fabrics are baby blankets and hankies. If you have other places you really like to add some little handmade embellishments to your sewing, let us know in the comments. And if you've got any questions for us, that's a great place to reach out to. Don't forget to tune in again soon for even more crochet tutorials.